Thank you, JR, for also pointing out what we'll do is have all the presentations and then we'll open it up for Q&A after that. So thank you.
Good morning. My name is Lynch, and I'm the chief. That was a good one for me. I'm the chief operating officer for the Georgia Ports Authority. And like JR, before I get into my presentation, I want to tell a very brief story. So the other day, our communications person said, "Griff, come on, I want to review this presentation with you." I said, "Oh, great, sounds good." So I went by his office and he shows me a presentation. I said, "Hey, why don't you add this slide and maybe put that slide?" He says, No. There's this woman named May, and she told me it can only be 7 slides, and she sounded like she meant it." So he actually, I said, "I think it'll be okay." And then he said, "I'm going to submit it, but I wouldn't be surprised if she rejects the presentation." Anyway, thank you, May. We will be militantly on time here. Anyway, can we switch back here to the presentation? I'm going to talk to you about the Georgia ports, a bit of our history and our path ahead. Our history is closely tied to Asia. All of our success really is closely tied to it, and we'll run through that with you here this morning. But first, the Ports Authority is comprised of 5 deep water facilities. 2 are in Savannah. One is what we call the Big Kahuna. It's the Garden City Container Terminal. It's the single largest terminal in the country and the 4th busiest port of the country. Ocean Terminal is also in Savannah. That handles bulk cargo, things like Caterpillar, exporting to all over the world, importing robotic machinery from Japan, and all sorts of cargo like this, forest products and things like this. We've also got 3 facilities down in Brunswick, and the most really known facility down there is our Railroad Terminal, Colonel's Island. We handle 750,000 automobiles a year to and from many places in the world, all different brands of automobiles. So the ports has been a great successful story. And why has it been successful? It has been successful because of things that took place about 15, 16 years ago. Our industry has ships like this, and then we have the people behind the ships, the shippers, or what we call the business cargo owners, or BCOs, folks like Target, Walmart, Home Depot. And the Georgia Ports Authority many years ago aligned themselves with the shippers and convinced them to come to Savannah. Had they not done that, we would not be sitting here today in front of you and be as powerful and as large of a port as we are. If we look at the history, back in 1999, there were 2 things that were certainly going to happen. Y2K was going to end the world, and Savannah would never be a major port. And if you look at this chart here, we were not even in the top 10. But after aligning ourselves with those shippers and convincing them to use Savannah as a port and bringing the warehouse providers and the entire supply logistics chain into Savannah and beyond, the growth was phenomenal. And as you can see, over the last 14, 15 years, no one has grown more than Savannah as a percentage over that time. 9% annual growth average. This year, we're at 15% on a much larger base. So what's the story? The story is, why did that happen? There are several reasons in addition to what I just told you. We established a relationship with those shippers, and really the growth, 67% of all our business is tied to Asia. Okay? So when you look at those circles that are on this chart, there were several things that happened. The U.S. West Coast in 2002 had some labor issues. And those shippers said, "Hey, Savannah's been calling on us, let's go give them a shot. We're going to start using the Panama Canal." So they started bringing the business from Asia through the canal, more so than they had done in the past. And we thought, oh, business will go back to the West Coast once the labor issues are resolved. That didn't happen because we provided great service thanks to the support that we had all around us. 2007, the Suez Canal really became important because the ships became so large that they couldn't fit through the canal, the Panama Canal anymore. Some ships can, but post-Panamax vessels can only fit through the Suez Canal. The Panama will be increased in size and that'll be completed in a year or 2, but since 2007, the growth has really been through the Suez, and the Panama Canal volume has shrunk. And you can see that that pattern continued. Now, history repeats itself. Just last year and just up until recently, more West Coast labor issues and congestion that didn't exist years back. As recently as just, I think it's actually on Tuesday, the new contract for the West Coast will be ratified. But it's a year overdue, and many shippers diverted their cargoes to the East Coast. Again, that's what drove our growth this year mostly. Maybe we were expecting 4%, 5% growth, and I just mentioned 15. So it's been significant. It's overwhelmed the ports, mostly New York, Virginia, and on the West Coast ports. They're melting down. I don't know if you've seen this on the news. We've got a major challenge on our hands from an infrastructure standpoint. Not many ports during the economic recession invested in their facilities. Who did? The Georgia Ports Authority did. Continued to pour capital into the terminals, to the point that we've invested about $800 million over the last 10 years, so we were prepared to handle that growth. So if you look at the breakdown of our services, when we say a service, that's a ship call. We have the most Suez calls, 11, and as I just said, 7 years ago you wouldn't have seen one Suez call, and 8 Panama services, and they service different parts of Asia. Some titles just to support what I'm saying here, so you know I'm not lying to you. These are from trade periodicals, and support really, if you look at this, and really all about port issues around the country. And the last one we love the most is Savannah's growth outpaces U.S. average, no congestion. So what that has done for us is the shippers are saying, we want to use Savannah more. We're a little concerned because the growth can be even greater than what we anticipated. So it's good news though, good things are happening. So over the last 10 years I talked about how are we being successful. We invested $800 million, we've got a capital plan of $1.4 billion over the next 10, and we're executing that as we speak. And we're very excited about the future. A lot of our best practices have been gained from experience through Shanghai International Port Group. We have an MOU with them, and we share dialogue and look at different technologies. It's been a great success story for us and for them. And so this just kind of highlights the key to running a port is it's just like a warehouse. You have to have more room than you need to handle the cargo that's coming to you. And the capacity line represents that we're about 20% capacity is greater than actual demand. Many ports have kind of a stair-stepped method. And the problem with that is to increase capacity in the port is a long lead time. It takes a lot of time to order new equipment, build the equipment, have it delivered. So you have to stay ahead of the curve. Finally, the biggest thing that many folks asked about last night, probably our Achilles heel up till now, was the Savannah Harbor Expansion Project, the deepening of the river. And I'm happy to say that it is moving ahead full speed. And I'm on a 2-minute time clock here. I'm going to get it done early. I'm going to surprise you. Full speed ahead. Permits have been received. Actually, the first contract was awarded for the outer harbor, which is a significant component of the project. The project will take about 4 years, so in that 2019 timeframe, and we're very, very excited about it. It will allow us to go from 42-foot depth to 47-foot, and that's very important. As I talked about, the larger ships require that. And then finally, here's just a list of some of our customers. The real benefit of doing business in Georgia for our customers is that we are about a 50-50 split, meaning 50% of our business is exports and 50 imports. And that helps our customers because those containers, the trucks that you see on the road, they have to get that equipment to the port. We have a natural flow of equipment which reduces the cost of doing business and it again enables our success. And a lot of those exports come from Georgia natural resources. And finally, JR kind of commented, you have to have a presence, and we have a presence, even though we're an organization that's about 1,000 strong. A lot of that is the operators, the people making it happen on the ground. We do have people located in many areas around the globe, helping us sell our services, and of course, Asia being 67% of our business, we have a major focus there. And that really wraps it up for me. Thank you very much. We appreciate the invite, and it's exciting to be here with you all today.